Hey, young man, eat my shorts. Come on, take the damn picture.
Oh, it's a video, so you're kind of out of luck.
It's all right if I turn my...
All right, it's a video. Yeah.
My grandfather, Peter Wells Bunde, was born on March 18th, 1931, in Wisconsin Rapids. He lived a long and full life, becoming a lawyer, serving in the Korean War, and having 7 children. My grandfather was a complex person. Depending on who you ask of his children, you'll get a differing viewpoint of him as a person, parent, and since his passing in 2016, a different meaning of who he was. I wanted to investigate this, so I asked his youngest son, John, his 4th eldest child, and my mom, Jean, and my dad, who was Peter's son-in-law, Michael, about Peter Bunde and who he was.
I think he was a very intelligent and caring father and provider who might not have been best suited to have as many children as he did, but I think that he had a very strong presence, and sometimes that affected people negatively, shall we say. But I think that it would be best if he's remembered as someone who did his best to try and provide a good life for his wife and his children. He was very verbal in expressing himself. His frustrations were very demonstrative towards people. He was very verbally sort of abusive at times, not quite bullying, but in the same vein. And that just made it very difficult to have relationships with him. He would lash out, so to speak, and be very unpredictable. And that caused a lot of sort of pain and damage to family members, and things that happened to a large degree because of his personality.
Fun-loving. He could be cantankerous. He could be crabby. I think everybody can. He wanted things done his way, and I think maybe that's from being an only child. And I think his mother doted on him a little bit, being that only child. But that was tempered with, his father, who my dad is very like his dad.
Good parts of him were good. He was generous, could be generous and kind to people. Those are the main things, right? He was good company when he wanted to be.
He and I had a long, complicated relationship. I was the 4th of 4 children right away, and then there was a large gap of 4 years, then another child, 4 years, then another child, and another child. So 7 children over 17 years, and he was an only child, and I was squished in the middle there.
Later in his life, about 10 years ago, we went to a Packers game together. And that was one of the first times where we sat together and we tailgated and went to the game. And the team was really good. And we had been going to a lot of games for years and years as siblings and stuff like that. But that was the first time that he wanted to go and spend the day with us. And I would think that it was one where just everything went smoothly. There weren't any just sibling or parental spats that went on. So I would say that would be a pretty good one.
I think around our wedding he was very good. Well, we had a nice wedding, and he was an integral part of that, being in his home, hosting it basically. So it was probably the best you could see of him at that point.
Probably say the night before my wife and I got married, he was just being very selfish. And I thought he was acting very rude. And it's one that actually, when I was it popped in my head when I was talking about a favorable memory. It was a very hurtful experience. Well, we were trying to do, the standard rehearsal activities, some wedding practice, a rehearsal dinner, and it was, if I recall, it was arriving late to the dinner, and then when we went back to the hotel where everybody was staying, then he was very rude in some of his comments when people were trying to make small talk with him. His comments were disrespectful towards myself, my wife, and the family. Just the dinner that we were trying to do, and the camaraderie we were trying to build with everybody, let alone the fact that he was late to the dinner.
When I graduated from Madison with my undergrad, just what an amazing sense of pride I felt that from my dad, that he and I had just not really known each other. We didn't have long talks or anything like we did as we got older, and that's what he wanted. He wanted me to do the right thing and be able to have a good life, and for him going and getting that degree, especially from Madison, his alma mater, and his father's alma mater, his uncle's alma mater, David's alma mater. So we've got 4 or 5 of us graduating from Madison. That was huge. Well, I think everybody's going to remember him in their own way. We all have different memories and different experiences. As far as we being all his children, we bring our own times to those memories, our own perspectives. We're all very different people, and I think that affects how we as children remember him.